Hello, explorers. I am Leonidas, and this is Stationeers. Some of you may have found me through my tutorial and help videos through Nucleares. Some of you are just searching for the game. I'm new to this. Welcome to my first ever episode on Stationeers, for newbies by a newbie. So the whole idea behind this is to try and help people navigate this game of Stationeers. I myself am a new player. I was gifted this game by a viewer who I would not consider a friend, and have really gotten into it, really enjoyed it, and found a lot of things frustrating. The game is very unique. I really enjoyed the game. The help is a little bit outdated. This game has changed, and a lot of the videos I'm finding are by people I would call experts, or who appear to be experts, and they just run through things, and I'm left going, wait, why did you do this? Or where did that, how, hold on, go back, why? And so I had a lot of people, the reason I'm even here is because I had a lot of people reach out and say, will you do Stationeers? Please, Leonidas, we need you to do Stationeers. You do great with Nucleares, help us out with Stationeers. And I stayed away from it for a while, more on that later, but here I am. So hopefully I can help everyone navigate this game a little easier. This is designed for new players. If you are advanced, an expert, seasoned in the game, this probably won't be helpful for you. You might find it annoying. This is for people who are new to the game and are struggling with it, want to learn to navigate it. So I'm going to do my best, because I do not consider myself an expert. But nevertheless, here we are. This is going to be a moon series. We're just doing the moon, different planets. Talk about that here in a second. But without further ado, let's get into it. So this is episode 1. We're just going to start out a brand new game, and you're going to work through it with me. So when you go to start a new game, there's a bunch of different worlds, and they all have their different challenges and things. They explain to you what they are over here. The different aspects of each one. Right, you have all those different. So we're going to start off with the moon. This is the beginner. This is kind of the easy mode, and we're going to make it even easier. So with moon selected, we go to next, and we want easy, right? We want help, right? Mining yield gives us double what it normally would. Lung damage, the metabolism is offline metabolism disabled. Interesting. So I guess we don't need a sleeper. Anyway, sorry, that's for another thought. So you can see that each one changes things that make them a little more difficult for my purposes, and the only one I've done so far is moon easy. That's it. I've also done standard, right? So this is what you start with, and we're going to go over each of these, so don't worry about it. But brutal versus standard gives you different starting items. So brutal looks like it's just food, and you got to figure everything else out. Wow. Okay, but we're gonna go with standard. So let's go ahead and start the game and jump into it. Okay, so we need to name a moon. Let's do this moon series. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so as we're coming in, we are in our little lander capsule, which is kind of cool. We'll slam down and our door will pop off. Not much to do. There we go. And there goes the door. Welcome to the moon. Okay, so as you look left and right, you'll see we are in a little lander. Oh, there's my body having an out-of-body experience. And these two items are actually kind of important, but we're going to leave them there for right now. So let's hop out using our WASD keys. Right, we walk forward. There's our lander where we just were. And here is our capsule. This is our supplies lander. This has everything in it that we're going to need to get started. Oh, looks like he's tilting a little bit. So here you are. Welcome to the moon. Yeah. Okay, I made a couple changes and kind of paused the game, as it were, without pausing it, because I want to explain a few things of getting started. So looking at ourselves, over here on the left, these are your items that you can wear. You have 1 through 6. You've got a helmet, glasses that you'd have to build them later. And there's different glasses you can use to look through walls and things like that. Your suit, This is your environmental suit, your EVA suit, very important. Your jetpack or backpack, whatever you're wearing on your back. Jetpack helps you get around. Your uniform, which you can use to customize what you look like. And then your tool belt, which is very essential. Your hands. You can carry 2 things at a time. I think if I look down, can I see? Oh, you can see in my shadow. See in my that I'm actually holding the duct tape. If I switch hands, if I move it to the other side, it'll switch. See, that's kind of cool. It is depicted in the game as you run. Sometimes certain items you can see yourself kind of waving them as you run. Anyway, so you have duct tape. More on that in a minute. This over here is your status over here on the right side. So our target, this is what we have set that we want our internal pressure to be, because in Stationeers, everything matters. What I really like about this game is the fact that it is a creative survival, but when you might think, oh, 7 Days to Die is one that I've played, and there's several others out there. What makes Stationeers different, what I like about it, is that you have limited resources. You have limited air, limited water, limited food. All of these things, different things can kill you. Heat, cold, all of it. So one of the things, in order to breathe, to take off our helmet and live and survive, is we need an atmosphere. Right now, inside of our suit, we have our goal is 101 kilopascals, which is, I believe, sea level on Earth in real life. It also sets our target temperature, right? This is in Celsius. 21 degrees is 70, so nice and cool. Our jetpack thrust, right? So because we're using our jetpack over here, this is how much is left in there. It's quite a bit. I've never had to refill this yet, but we will later at some point. But this is how much is left in your jetpack. To use your jetpack, you press J to activate. You can hear it, spacebar to go up, left control to go down, and then the WASD keys work to turn it off, J again. Okay. This is you. If your helmet's off, you won't see your helmet. If your suit's off, you won't see your suit. If the visor's open, you won't. It'll show it. You'll see kind of this little change. This is giving you information about what's around you, and this is pretty important. Right now, we have no atmosphere. Right, the moon is a vacuum. It told us that when we loaded. There is no atmosphere. Other planets do have them. This one does not. So it's 0 kilopascals, and the temperature is nil. That's different than 0. You can only have a temperature in Stationeers if you have an atmosphere. So that's why we're showing nil. If we had, some air around us, it would show what the temperature is. But you can think of it as basically absolute 0, kind of. This is your compass, which direction you're heading. It goes right 0 to 360, or 359, I guess, and then back to 0. This is how fast you're running, meters per second. And then this is your vitals. Over time, your hunger, or how full you are. I guess this is your fullness and how hydrated you are, your hydration level. These will go down over time. If they get to 0, you will start taking health damage. If your health goes to 0, you die. So that's what these are. In the middle would pop up here your health bar. It's a little red circle with a plus in it, and it'll show the outline of your body, and it changes colors, like if you've damaged a limb or an organ or something. It'll go yellow, orange, red, things like that. So that's the basic information over there. Now, if we can either click on these things by holding Alt is what gives me my little cursor, right? So by holding Alt and clicking my helmet, it opens up these menus. And right now, open helmet is locked. You can't hear it, but I'm clicking my mouse and I can't open it because, well, it's locked. To unlock it, I do this. If you know me and my videos, it's better to keep that locked because the I key on your keyboard will bump it and you can accidentally open it. You can also turn the light on manually there. And flush, I think, is if you have pollutants and things, it'll flush out whatever the air is with your clean oxygen pack or oxygen tank and flush it out. I've never used it. But you can also open and close this by pressing what you have here. See the 1? You just press 1, and there you go. These little lines I've never clicked before. Oh, that doesn't have anything. Okay, glasses we don't have. Suit, same thing. I'm going to press 3 to bring that up. This one I leave open quite often. So here we can adjust our pressure up and down. I'm actually going to adjust the pressure down quite a ways. Anything above 27, you'll live. So I don't know if this actually saves air in your tank, but I think it does. So I'm going to put mine at 30 kilopascals. And you'll see that it gets close, but not exact. Okay. You can also do the temperature up and down, right? And the higher the temperature or lower the temperature, it uses your battery pack. You can see my battery ticking away there. Your filter. So you filter the air that you breathe. This is my oxygen canister. It's labeled that. It comes that way, but if you make a canister, you're going to have to paint it, and you're going to have to paint it white, and you're going to have to label it the oxygen canister. But this is where my oxygen is, and I've got 5,500 kilopascals. It's quite a bit. When I exhale CO2, carbon dioxide, it goes through these filters, and then it ends up in my waste tank. These filters are all CO2 filters. If you had something other than oxygen here, say you had oxygen and nitrogen, you would need an oxygen a CO2 and a nitrogen filter to filter out that nitrogen so you don't breathe it in. Over time, it can cause damage. And yeah, there's the 10%, if you know what I'm talking about, nitrogen, but that's for another day. It makes it much easier if you just have pure oxygen in your tank, but that's what these filters are, and they do need to be replaced over time. As you can see, this one's ticking down. My waste tank, as I said, this is just whatever I exhale. This can be relieved by holding Alt and clicking on it. You can actually open it and expel whatever's inside. And that becomes useful later, especially when you're growing plants and they need CO2. We can empty that out. Your battery, this is what keeps the lights on, what keeps the AC on, and all that. So I'm actually going to turn the AC off. And it'll go down. You can be freezing. This is the temperature inside, and this is obviously what we have it set to. It'll tell me I'm cold, but I haven't ever seen a problem on the moon with that off. What'll happen is you get too hot. When I use my welder, it creates a lot of heat. More on that later. And it'll tell me, oh, you're heating up too much. And so I click my AC on to help cool myself down so I don't get too hot. But otherwise, cold so far has not bothered me in the game. So that's your EVA suit. Backpack. This is where you carry all your goodies. This is your jetpack propellant, right? The same thing as what we see here. Gives you your thrust. Here's a pain pill. I don't know what that is. Actually, it just says pill medical. I don't know what it is. I guess it heals you. This is a good time. Sorry, my mouse slides. My mouse, what do you call this? Pad is sloped, and sometimes my mouse just likes to slide on it, like it's doing now. So, a cool thing in the game is it has its own built-in Wikipedia. If you press F1, it's also up here in this corner. If you hold Alt up there, well, I guess I can't click on it, but it reminds you that it's there. F1, there goes my sliding mouse. See it go? It's falling down the mouse pad. And it has all sorts of stuff in here, right? And you can search, you can look at things. It will tell you, like if you want to look at, I don't know, oxygen. Okay, it'll tell you what it's used for. Some don't have descriptions, which is kind of annoying, but it tells you where to find it, what it can be used for, gives you lots of information about it, gives you this log scale of when it's a solid, a liquid, a gas based on pressure and temperature, all sorts of things, right? Where it's found in, all those sorts of neat things. So, for example, here, oh, and you can pause the game while you're looking at it. This little button will pause everything going on behind you. The game is now not just effectively paused, it is paused. All the animations, anything running in the background would stop, which is nice because you can do some research without things happening behind you. So we want to look up that pill medical. So if I type in pill, oh, well, there you go. And this tells us, I've actually never looked at this as the first time. So it gives you kind of a funny description, but proton pill, Mr. Happy, okay. So tell me what it does. And the pertains to parasitic immune response. No. Not really. Oh, chemistry station. I've never built one of those. So I guess it heals you. That's my guess. If you take damage, If you get hurt, it will heal you, I guess. All right, cool. So there you go. That's where we looked up that. Now, by clicking that X, we have unpaused. Things are still happening. If I press the escape button in single player, if you have another person in your game, I think even if they have disconnected, this won't pause it. But I am also paused here. Getting back to it. Yeah, see, it tells me my temperature's low, but I don't take any damage from it in this case. Let's see. Okay, so your tablet. This is very important. It will do a number of things. So I'm using the Alt button to drag it into my hand, and I'll turn so I'm not in the shadow. You can also use your light to light it up. But to turn it on, you right click. It's giving me this, anytime you see one of those switches flashing, it means there's an error. So I right click again. I know, I'm fine. It's actually not doing any damage. You're going to hear me heavy breathing. You know what? I'm just going to turn it on just so I don't heavy breathe. There we go. Goes back up right away. Oh yeah, their AC also heats you. Heats and cools. So I need to insert a chip into it. I have different chips that can be inserted here. They're called cartridges. To do that, I can do it a couple ways. One, I can click and drag just right on top and let go. And now I have my tracker beacon. To get it out, it's not as easy. I can hold Alt and left click on it to open this little menu. Or with it, with the yellow bars, over time I press Alt, the yellow bars go away. But that's what your active hand is. The switch between hands is the letter E. So this is my active hand. I push the R button that you see. It'll be right there. Right? Brings it on. It brings that up. O will also turn it on and off if you don't want to use the right mouse button. Same thing. The T places it. If you wanted to set it down, I press T. It'll show me where it goes. And I left click. And there I've set it down. Don't lose this though. Or Q will throw it. You can hold Q and just launch things. Throw them. Kind of fun. Anyway, so to swap out that tracker, what I want is for atmosphere. So I'm going to click and drag those, swap them out. Now when I turn it on, it'll show me what my pressure is, if there were any liquid, the temperature. Obviously we're in a vacuum, so there's nothing. But that's how you use your tablet. One of the things that you're going to want in the early game is your tracker, and I would leave it in there. More on that in a little bit. This is our mining belt. You can swap these. Click and drag. And now when I push 6, this is my mining belt. So I put this guy back. Only certain things can go here. It'll tell you ore can go here, right? Rocks. If I try and drag my duct tape, it'll tell me, nope, can't do it. Or tools, right? It'll say tool. That's specifically a tool slot. These, you can put whatever you want there. I can put duct tape. I can put a tool. I can put whatever. Right there. Now, this is a pickaxe. So this is to manually, if I was going to mine a rock, right, that I would use the pickaxe to do it manually, or you have a pneumatic one. And this guy, right, to turn him on, you right click or hit O. He's green, you see him spinning, and when you hold down the button, he starts digging. Now, one thing you can do, if you leave that on and put it in your tool belt, the battery will die. Power is king around this place. Very important. So, yeah, super important. And that's all I'm going to say about that. What you can change this guy to is if you push R to bring up the little extra menu, you'll see this set flatten. Another thing I want to mention is this is to toggle the setting on all of these. It's not what the setting is. My filter is not off. I would click this to turn the filter off. I would click this to turn the flow of oxygen off to my tank, right? So right now it is on what's called default mode. I want to set it to flatten. I want to change that setting. I click here. Now what this does is as let's say I wanted to, I don't know, build a base or something. As I do this, is it going to work? Here you go. As I run around, you will see that it flattens this area. Makes it so I can build on it and make it nice. Right? So see how I guess I didn't do a very good job. Let's try this again. So it's kind of finicky. You got to move left and right. But there you go. I now have a flat area. I'll show you what it looks like to mine something. So remember that in order to dig down, you need to set it back to default. But you'll see that that flatten comes in handy when you're trying to build your base. So now, as I'm going to close my little R menu, because otherwise those windows stack up. If I go up to something like this, like a rock, which is copper, if you look kind of toward the top of it, or you got to get in the right spot, it'll tell you what it is. You turn it on, you hold the button, and boom, I just mined copper. I got a stack of 20 ores out of that rock. As a side note, whenever you see a rock, if you dig down, let me turn my light on, usually there's more around. Yes, there's one over there to my left I saw from flattening. I'm hoping there's more around. Yes, see, so I've uncovered other ones. So if you see one, keep going down a little ways. You probably find more. Well, more on that in a second. That's technique. Okay. So that's how to use these belts. What I like is to have my mining belt on. Because if I don't have my mining belt on and I'm mining ores, they just, well, I'll show you. They just roll around. Where did I put it in my backpack. So now if I go to mine this copper rock, see how it just sits there? It doesn't end up anywhere. So to get it into my belt, I can do one of two things now. I held Alt and I left clicked this to open up this menu. I'm not wearing it, but I can still, if it'll let me, will it let me? Nope, it's not gonna let me. So if I move that, put it in my hand, now I can drag it over. Drag it over. I can actually stack it because those will go up to 50. Not everything goes up to 50. Some go up to, they're single units, some are 10, 20, 30, 50, just depends. But by having my belt on, as you saw, I have to reopen it, it will automatically add the ore to the belt. What I then do is open my tool belt here, because I don't need this necessarily attached. There's nothing I'm going to pick up that's going to go automatically to this. These are all a whole bunch of tools. The only other thing that I can think of that can go on your tool belt besides these tools are your coils. These are your electrical wires that you're going to run throughout your base. Very important. You're going to need a ton of them. And we have all sorts of things. We have a wrench. This is used for pipes or valves, different piping materials that you'll see me use a lot. Crowbar. This is used to open things or with glass to deconstruct, like take glass off of something. Your hand drill. This is used to remove or deconstruct items if you've built it. Certain things you need that to remove them. Your wire cutters. They cut wires. It'll also allow you to splice in wires that are pre-existing. You'll see me use that a lot. Your welding torch. This welding torch is gas powered. And if I hold left Alt and I click on it, let me press F2 to get that menu out of the way. You can see that it has a limited amount of fuel. As I turn it on, it goes down just idling. So don't leave this on, because yes, you can put it in your belt and leave it on. But as I weld, it's actually not letting me weld anything because I don't have anything in front of me. This will go down over time. This creates a lot of heat. You can see around me now that it created a little bit of atmosphere, and the heat was really high. If I had my AC off, it probably would have gone up, my body temperature. This can be refilled. You can pull these out. You can set them down. Q to set something down. Oh, I really don't want to lose that. Let's pick it up. I don't know why it was hanging to the ground like that. And then you reinstall them that way. Very important, very useful, limited in supply. Keep that in mind. So don't waste it if you don't have to. Put that back on my belt. Screwdriver. This is used to assemble certain things and disassemble certain things. Angle grinder you're going to use a lot for different metal frames, metal pieces that you need to take apart. Some items, also the components that you're going to construct. So these are all used in different ways, and you're going to see me use them a ton. These two do the same thing. This one's just automatic and much faster. This one's manual. If you lose this, your battery dies, it's okay. You've got the manual guy there. So this is normally how I walk around. I'll push 6 to get rid of my mining belt because I don't need that one open. And this is how I normally walk around. I can monitor my battery level, my filter levels. I'm going to use a lot of stuff in here. And my belt, my tool belt, I'm constantly using my tools. So, oh, getting back to this because I kind of skipped over it. So that was tool belt. Flares, don't use them. Sorry, I don't use them. They will generate light for a time. You can also use them, I think, to generate heat and atmosphere inside your base. More on that later. I store them. Portable solar panel. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. This guy's kind of cool. I use this when I go out mining, I kind of take a survival kit with me, and this is in it because if I get lost or something happens and I need to charge a battery, I can set this guy down by pressing Q, and he opens up, and you see this little red box? It means I can put something there. Do I have an extra battery? If I hold Alt and click on my hand drill, you'll see it has a battery, and I can set one in there. Blue means fully charged. Green means a bit above a certain percentage. Yellow is medium, and then it goes orange, red, flashing red, and then just off when it's dead. So this is 100%, but this would be charging right now. And if I look at it, oh, the sun's not high enough. So if I look at the actual portable solar panel, it's telling me it's generating 0 watts because it can't see the sun at all. The sun is at too much of an angle. I can pick this up. I can set it down. The battery stays in it. I can take the battery out and put it back in my hand drill, which I don't want to forget about. Press the X to close that. And so this guy I find useful in an emergency situation. And then, of course, duct tape. Duct tape, if I break my suit, get a cut in it, if I crack my helmet and I need to repair it, I can put this in my hand. I believe I hold right mouse button, and you'll see a little bar that comes up and says repairing, and it'll stop any leaks. It doesn't repair the damage, it just stops your oxygen and atmosphere and stuff from leaking out, which is obviously a bad thing. So duct tape is useful in an emergency. But again, this healing pill, I've never used. You naturally heal over time. Certain things. I gave myself lung damage. I haven't been able to fix it yet in my other game, but it is there. So let's get to the lander and look at the things here. You start with a fuel tank. Why this starts all the way over here? It'll always start off when you do it this mode, always start away from the lander. I don't know why. It's, I think, like rocket fuel. It is flammable, it is combustible, and it's what you refill your welding torch with. Little caveat to these guys. Let me turn my light on. They all have a, no they don't. This guy doesn't have a gauge on it. Yeah, that's okay. But if I look at it with my little white mouse dot here, it'll tell me the temperature of it, the pressure, the pressure inside, and the temperature and the capacity, liquid's volume. So obviously there's no liquid in it, right? There's a gas in there in this case, because I see the pressure and the liquid's volume is 0. It has 4.63 megapascals. Where did it go? Where'd my information go? There it is. If I look at my welder here, it has 57, which would be 5.7 megapascals. So if this has more in it pressure wise than this does. So if I put this inside, what's going to happen is these are going to equalize. So I'm actually going to lose some out of here, and it's going to go in there until they're the same number. They're going to average each other out. So keep that in mind, because that is kind of an important technique, or excuse me, an important mechanic to know about the game. But you have several of these. So this guy always starts over here off to the side. Your lander will not always land in a nice spot. Sometimes it lands in a hole. Sometimes it lands over a hole. There are holes. I saw one over here we'll go look at. You get craters. You get, that's a very small hole. Here's a hole. That's a very small hole too. Yes, you can jump and you get kind of high. I don't see any. I don't want to go looking for them. But you'll see these giant holes / craters on the moon that you can fall in. Things can fall in, and getting them out is less than fun. Here's like a kind of a baby hole. If you do find yourself falling in, there's a couple ways to get out. Sometimes you can just walk out and maybe jump. This case I cannot. Oh, I did right there because that little ledge was open. You can use your jetpack. or you can mine your way out, right? Just use the mining and kind of walk forward and create yourself a walk path for yourself. Oh, can I get up there? There we go. I jumped. So a few different ways to get out of holes. So just note that these might land somewhere that's not very beneficial to you. Now, getting stuff down. Well, we'll worry about that in a minute. You're given different survival kits. This one is airlock supplies to build an airlock for your base. This one is electrical supplies. Well, let's just open it up. So you have spare batteries, 2 of them. You've got a battery charger kit. I'm stuck right on this kind of this leg thing. Solar panel kit for recharging batteries. A solid generator. This is a generator that you can hook up to charge batteries when your solar's not working. You put in coal and it burns. I mean, it's just like a, regular furnace. Well, not a furnace. I mean, it's a generator. It just burns the coal, creates a lot of electricity, and charges your batteries. Extra wire, same as we have here. An APC, which we will go over later. You've got a portable generator. What this is, and you see in its description, it's got the generator, a power connector, and the insulated canister package. What that means is this is a generator you can hook up and run wires to. I don't think I've ever used it. I haven't needed to. But it does. I think this one runs off of fuel, and that's what that insulated canister package is. It's got a little fuel tank inside to run off of. Note that these things expel fumes and gases and pollutants and which can be in your base, which you cannot. I mean, you can physically breathe them in. They will hurt you, damage you, kill you, things like that. So that's the electrical supplies. Moving along to construction supplies. This is what we're going to use to build our base. Iron walls. So there's iron and steel are the main components. There's things like composite walls or just walls. They're also made out of steel and plastic sometimes. But for the most part, just focus on iron for now. So the walls and ceiling. These sheets are used to fill in the iron walls and other things. You use a lot of iron sheets. Plastic sheets, glass sheets. You have more iron walls. And then you have these iron frames. These frames are what are used to build on. You use them on the floor. I guess, could you use an iron wall? Yeah, you can use an iron wall as a floor. Certain things to build, to set on top of components, printers, a number of things need to be built on top of a frame. That's what these are for. So usually I use these for my floor, especially on the ground level. An auto lathe. This is one of the printers, and it prints more things. This is a thing that we'll set up that'll print more iron walls and frames and all sorts of different things. And then an arc furnace. The arc furnace, you use kind of like an arc welder, which you actually can build. It's electric. So this runs off of electricity, heats up, and it melts. All this ore that I have, I push 6 to bring up my mining belt. These ores I put inside this furnace, and it melts them down into ingots. And the ingots, especially if you're familiar with like Minecraft, are same idea. You put it in an ore, you get out an ingot, you can use that ingot to craft different things. The ingots are used inside the printers. So that's my my construction supplies. These don't have anything in them. They're just, I don't know, they're for decoration. And then you've got your hydroponic supplies. You can, as I said, food is a limited supply. Oh, I didn't go over the suit. If I push 5, I have a suit or some pockets. In my pockets, I have a cereal bar. And this is what I would use to refill my hunger. Again, my hunger and thirst are not dropping, or I guess my fill levels are not dropping because I have the mechanics paused in the background. So cereal bar refills hunger or your fullness. This water bottle fills your hydration. An access card is for later. Well, you would put an access card here. You can build a base to only let certain people into certain areas, and you security stuff. You do that with an access card and credit card. You can trade in this game. You can have aliens, robots, or humans come and land, and you can buy and sell things. More on that later, of course. But I don't normally have that up. But I do always keep food and water with me. On the moon, in this beginner level, you can eat and drink through your closed helmet. Other games, difficulty settings, you cannot. You have to go inside some place where you can open up your helmet to eat and drink and then reclose it. So that's one of the benefits of starting this way. It is a little easier. But hydroponics, what hydroponics does is it will allow you to grow things to eat. You eat potatoes. That's probably the best starting food, baked potatoes specifically. You also get wheat and soybean seeds, which you can use. There's a whole set of crafting. Like if I go F1, I pause my game here, and I go wheat. It'll tell you, well, this is all the information to grow it. If you're going to grow it, right, it can be in the presence of these things. This is how much water it uses, and it'll tell you ideally a minimum and maximum. So if below 0 it freezes and it dies, above 50 it dies, it gets too hot. Ideally you want your room, your greenhouse, your hydroponics room, whatever you call it, to be between 20 and 30 degrees, right? Because that will help it grow faster. Same with air pressure, right? Minimum, anything above 25 you're good, anything below, I mean 200 kilopascals is really high, but this is the ideal. This is how much light it needs per day, darkness per day, so you can't leave it in the light all the time. Anyway, so there's all these different things you can look at for growing. You can use these. It's not going to give me the recipes. Oh, I guess, okay, so wheat, if you put it in a Regent processor, will give you flour. Flour then can be used in the, let's go, oven, to create all these different things, right? You can make a pumpkin pie or a muffin, and all these things are things you can eat, and they give you different amounts of nutrition. They change your mood, things like that. So anyway, wheat is used. You don't really eat it by itself. In fact, I think so it'll give you 5 nutrition, so you can eat it, but it doesn't give you much nutrition. It only gives you 5 points. So keep that in mind. Potatoes you used for baked potatoes, and this will give you 40 nutrition. It doesn't change your mood. This is kind of the easiest one to start out with, because you just grow a potato, you throw it in the microwave, and then it comes out as a baked potato and you can eat it. So hydroponics, that's how you solve your hunger issues in the game. But wheat seeds and soybean seeds, typically these are used to feed chickens. And where is my, oh, I'm stuck on the leg again. I don't see them. I'm pretty sure they're there. Anyway, normally you start off with a kit that has fertilized eggs for chickens. I've never grown them yet, but they're there. What's in this guy? Water canister. Okay, so we'll worry about more on this later, but this is the thing that you use. I can't really get up to it. All right, I'm just gonna use my jetpack. This hydroponics tray, this is what they grow in. You don't need soil or anything. You just need water. You stick the seed in and it grows. These are the pipes that get you your water. You have a liquid canister here, water canister that you use to fill that, a grow light if you need it. You can also just use the sun in certain cases, but there you go. Hydroponics. We will use certain things out of here, especially the pipes, a little earlier than just for hydroponics. Survival supplies. Tracking beacon. This guy is critical. So I'm going to put him down here. I can use either T or I can just use Q to kind of drop him. And he has a battery, his own little battery, and you turn him on by clicking it, and he turns yellow. And what this guy does is, let's say I'm out mining. I've gone over here and I've been mining for 10 minutes, and I'm in some kind of a valley. Whoops, wrong button. Oh yeah, here's a, see, big hole, big hole. That's gold. Looks like oxide that I use for oxygen. Anyway, let's say, uh-oh, I'm lost. I don't know where I am. I can't find my base. I don't know which way to go. I got all turned around. You can use your tablet with our handy dandy tracker. If those are, see how these get kind of smushed at the top because my screen's small. I close my mining belt and it'll appear. But I have my tracker in there, so I hit right click to open it up, and look at that. Tells me where my tracking beacon is, how far it is, and the direction I need to walk. So this will help you find your base if you get lost, because this is a big old world. Ta-da! You can turn it off. Just don't forget to turn it back on. I consider this kind of critical, especially early in the game. You can build a beacon that's hardwired to your base, which I consider like the number 2 priority. But that's what this guy does. Very important, very essential for not losing your base. I mean, you can wander around for a while, but yeah. Flags. These little flags are, they look like golf tees. There you go, just a little flag. How do I take this thing down? Wrench, maybe? Crowbar. Okay, here's the other thing. If you have the wrong tool to do something, it'll tell you what you need. So I need a crowbar to deconstruct this, and I picked it right back up. What I like to use these for, and this is a technique, some people might disagree with me. What I like to use these for are, where was that copper that I found earlier that I was mining? Do I see it anywhere? It was over here, wasn't it? I think, because I was flattening stuff and digging. Yeah, right here. Close, close. Here it is. So what I'll do is, copper is one that's not always easy to find. So I put one of these little flags right here. And so as I'm walking around and I see the flag, I go, oh, there was something over there that I liked. Is this what I need? Oh, copper. Excellent. So that's what I use these little flags for, is to mark mining spots. Gold, silver, nickel, copper. Those are the rare ones that you would probably, or I call them rare, that you're going to need, that are kind of hard to come by. Fire extinguisher, never had to use one. It says reusable. I don't know what that means. I've had things explode but not start a fire. But there you go. Water bottle. Okay. This guy, very important. So, do I want to show this? Yep. So you pick it up, and then you can either right click, and what it's saying is unpackage, and it will put one in my other hand, or you can set it down. Actually, let me gently set you down by pressing T and put it there. Now, where it's green at the bottom, I can just pick it up. If I go to the top where that little yellow is, it says unpack. I left click, hold, and now I have a water bottle in my hand that I can drink. I can't put it back as far as I know, but you can stack things. No, I guess this is at kind of at an angle. See if it'll let me set it down next to you. There you go. So these are important. Don't lose them, because until you get a way to refill your water, this is all you got. Plus the one in here. Same with cereal bars. The things I like about these, I like the humor of the developers of this game, because these are your handy dandy boneless cereal bars. Kind of fun. Same thing. It's got a bunch of cereal bars, the same as these ones in here. Oh, power low. So as you eat them, you will eat them in a percentage of what you need. So right now, if I were to eat my cereal bar, I might eat 1% of it. It won't, and the rest would stay there. I always carry around water and food with me, just as a survival thing. That's just my technique. These guys are important. They're also right here. Here is a bag of cereal bars and a bag of water bottles. So these come with you in the lander as extras, which is kind of nice. So don't forget about those guys. What else do we have in here? We have, more cereal bars, another box. Scrubber. This is an air scrubber. If you get pollutants and things in your base and need to, either for you or your plants, and you need to take off your helmet and breathe, or you need to scrub the air for the plants, that's what this guy is. It comes with a battery, comes with the filters, everything you need. This is this just has some random things in it. It's got a table, which you need to install your microwave. Here's your fertilized eggs right here. It's got a locker so you can store stuff, a container mount, which you use for tanks, like oxygen tank to be able to refill it or to refill your oxygen tank. As you saw, I don't think I showed this. On these guys, this is where you would insert your canister. See how it gives me that red outline? That's where it goes in, kind of at that angle right there. And so you can just insert them here directly. You can also set it up in your base connected to one of these little mounts, portable mounts, and have something on the wall that's like hardwired in, because otherwise you can't, I guess you could kind of fill it doing the reverse. Nah, I wouldn't be very easy. Disregard that. So that's what the portable mount is for, though. You have a flare gun. So if someone was here and lost, you can launch a flare up in the sky and they can see you. More flares, mining charges, another mining belt, and a pneumatic mining drill in case you lose yours. The mining charges are explosives. I blew myself up the first 5 minutes of the game taking that out, looking at it, setting it down, and when I set it down, I accidentally set it, and it went off. So as you're mining, right, if you can't find what you need, here's a big empty spot, and you want to put a hole in the ground to see if there's any, ores below it. Go for it. I've never actually used it for mining. And then a portable air conditioner, again, to cool down your base, because as you weld and as the sun comes in, it's going to heat up. Or does it heat up your base? Yeah, I think the air conditioner can also provide heat. Then last, you have an oxygen tank and a water tank to refill your water bottles. Can you fill them directly from here? Yes, I think you can. Same with the oxygen tank. You can insert it there where that little yellow and black area is and fill up your oxygen tank. So there you go. Now the question is, well, that's great that they're up there. Can we get them down? Yes, you can. I'm going to warn you, these things, these big crates are unwieldy. They are my arch nemesis. So you put your wrench in your hand and you use the left mouse and hold it, and it'll just fall. There you go. Same with these tanks. Can you put them back? I don't know if you can put them back. I've never actually tried. Can I put them back? Doesn't look like it. Maybe if I jetpack up there? You guys don't care, but now I'm curious. Oh, too high. Nope. Okay. So we'll just leave it here. Okay. Yeah. This guy, see how he kind of fell but didn't fall? The little handles on these guys are right here, and sometimes it's easier to drag than it is to push, especially with those things. Oh man, those are a pain. So we just set him down. If I need to refill my water bottle, he goes in there. Bada bing, bada boom. So there you go. That's how you would get those things down. Now, we are a long way into this game. So, what else can I tell you? I think that's about it for the starting. I will probably call it good here. In my next episode, I'm going to go over starting up your base and how to get started, how to get going. Because again, we have finite resources. I've paused everything here, but we do have finite resources. And I think your number one priority is getting power. Without power, you can't use tools. Your suit doesn't stay on. This is what will drain first. You're also given enough water and food to last you a little while, but I think power is your number one priority. And I'll go over how to set up being able to recharge your batteries and get things going. So thank you so much for stopping by. I am Leonidas. This has been Stationeers, and I will see you again soon.